Ah, yes, that next man up mentality. No Crawford, no Anisimov, no problem. What kind of?
Yeah. Woohoo! We are in a snow week. Yeah. Can't get any better.
Hello, welcome to Hawks Recap. Game 37 in the books for the Hawks. And the Hawks win in Edmonton on the back end of a back-to-back against the Oilers in overtime by a score of 4-3. Like we said, no Crawford in this game. Forsberg played the night before, which means Jeff Glass getting his NHL debut, just like last game when Kampf got his debut. It's always great to see somebody playing in the NHL for the first time. It's a big step in their career, a big milestone. But with Glass, it's a little bit different because he's a goalie who is 32 years old getting his first NHL action. It's a little bit late, but with goalies, they tend to mature a little bit later than skaters. So it's not really something that's out of the ordinary, but great to see him. And of course, the Hawks get the overtime victory, so he gets the victory in his first NHL game, and he played pretty darn well. He stopped 42 out of 45, I believe. I'll have to check that. Yeah, that's correct. That is pretty darn good performance for your first NHL action. The Hawks coming into this game riding a 3-game losing streak, playing the night before, losing in not so great fashion to the Vancouver Canucks, playing in this one against an Edmonton Oilers team who had a day's rest and are playing a bit better than their standings points indicate. They had a really horrid start at the beginning of the year, so that's kind of dropped them down in the standings, but they've picked up their play and they're moving up the standings. They're still pretty low just because of the horrid start, but they're playing much better than the standings really indicate. And the Hawks really they needed something to go right for this game. Things didn't really start off all that right for the Hawks as 5.5 minutes left in the first period. The Oilers with the power play and a shot on Jeff Glass. And Jeff Glass gives up a pretty big rebound. He gave up a lot of big rebounds in this game. He ended up saving a lot of shots. But if you're going to say one thing that he just didn't do well, it's he didn't suck pucks in. He didn't, prevent rebounds. But in this case, the Oilers capitalize on it and put the puck in the back of the net off the rebound, and a power play goal for the Oilers, a power play goal against for the Hawks, and the PK unit for Hawks is kind of in a bit of a slump right now. They've given up quite a few power play goals as of late, and they've played well all season, but it just seems like they're in a slump. We got to find a way to pick them up here. With under a minute left in the period, the Hawks respond. Patrick Kane gives it to Schmaltz entering the zone. Schmaltz gives it right back to Kane, and he has all the time in the world in the slot. I don't know what the defense of the Oilers is thinking, giving a guy like him that much space and time. He rips a shot. Talbot gets a piece of it, but it trickles behind him. Hartman's there to just whack the puck in, and that's a goal. Under a minute left in the period. Those type of goals are huge and can definitely swing momentum in games. And with Edmonton outshooting the Hawks 19-11 in that first period, that late period goal to tie it up going into intermission was the type of momentum change this team needed. The Hawks would get 2 power plays in the second period, and their power plays actually looked pretty darn good in this one. And they have a unit out there with DeBrincat and Kane on the sides, Schmaltz right in the middle, Taze right down on the goal line, and then Keith up top at the blue line, and that's a unit that seems to be working right now. I would stick to it, and on the second power play of the period, the Hawks would capitalize. The Oilers looking to get out of their zone, trying to go for a shorthanded goal, but Keith makes an exceptional play at the blue line. He just stands there, poke checks it. I mean, the Oilers have scored a lot of shorthanded goals, and this type of play, this is a play that defensemen just don't even try to do. It just doesn't even make sense, but Keith, he doesn't even just try. He executes it to perfection, keeps the puck in. That's a huge turning point. If it's an odd man rush going the other way, Oilers are up 2-1, but instead puck stays in the zone. We have an odd man rush essentially, 3-on-2 with Schmaltz, DeBrincat, and Taze, and Schmaltz gives it to DeBrincat. He goes 5-hole on Talbot, and the Hawks are the ones that go up 2-1. The Hawks would have their final power play about 8 minutes into the third period, and they would capitalize on that one as well to make it a 3-1 game. Jordan Osterley playing against the team who drafted him, his former team. He snipes one from the blue line. It hits the post, hits back off Talbot, goes back into the net, and the Hawks are up 3-1 in the third period. Things are looking good. It looks like we're going to get out of this one and snap that 3-game losing streak. Unfortunately, things just don't seem to be that easy, especially in the third period on the back end of a back-to-back against an Oilers team who are better than their record really indicates. A team that almost made it to the Western Conference Final last year, was this close to beating the Ducks in the second round. And the Oilers start to come back. The Oilers pull their goalie, get the sixth skater out there, and with a little over 2 minutes left to play, Nugent Hopkins shoots the puck from the point, and unfortunately it redirects off Seabrook underneath Jeff Glass's pad 5 hole and into the back of the net, and the Oilers have cut the lead down to 1 again. The Oilers pull their goalie again, get the sixth skater out there again, and with a little under a minute left, a puck goes out in front into the slot, a wicked shot onto Jeff Glass, but he makes a big save there, but a couple rebounds later, Draisaitl able to punch the puck in, and this game is tied. The Hawks blow a 2-goal lead in the third period, and with the late period goals, the Oilers seem to have momentum going into overtime. And 3-on-3 with McDavid and Draisaitl and all the other talent that the Oilers have, that's a bit scary. But wait, Hawks have some talent too, mainly this guy right here. He gets the puck from Keith down low in the offensive zone. 50 seconds into the overtime period. Forehand, backhand around Draisaitl. Gets to the net. Forehand, backhand against Talbot. Puts the puck into the back of the net. The Hawks win in overtime. Snap the 3-game losing streak. And, this feels so good. Jeff Glass gets his first NHL victory. You could just see the emotion and jubilation on his face. And you could see Patrick Kane just pointing at him after he scores the goal. Everyone hugs and things are all good in Hawks Nation. Up next for the Hawks, they stay in the Canadian province of Alberta. They play the Calgary Flames on New Year's Eve, a Flames team who is right alongside the Hawks in the standings, looking and fighting for playoff positioning. How great would it be for the Hawks to find a way to win that game, finish off 2017 strong, put that year in the rearview mirror, go into 2018 on a good note with confidence, and start making a push in the back half of this season. Sounds like a pretty good idea to me. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on the game and the team's performance down in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe if you can. I appreciate it as always. But most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, especially with New Year's Eve coming up here. And I hope to see you next time.